So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Fibonacci. You might have heard of Fibonacci and Fibonacci's sequence of numbers. It's known as nature's numbering system. Now, Fibonacci was originally known as Leonardo of Pisa. As you can guess from the Fibonacci Italian-sounding name, he was an Italian mathematician from around the 12th century. He wasn't known as Fibonacci in his lifetime, but after he died, he was called Fibonacci, and it's because his dad was called Bonacci, meaning simple or good-natured, and he was the son, Filius, so Fibonacci, it's Fibonacci. Now, Fibonacci's sequence of numbers is used everywhere in nature. He didn't discover this sequence of number. It's been around for a long time in Hindu legends and other writings, but he just drew attention to it in his book, known as the Book of Calculation, Liber Abaci. And basically what the sequence of numbers is, starts with 0, then goes to 1, then goes to 1, and then 2, 3, 5, 8. Now this just sounds like I'm just rattling off a whole bunch of numbers, but actually the way it's worked out is that the next number is the sum of the two previous numbers. So 0 and 1 added together makes 1, 1 and 1 added together makes 2, 2 and 1 added together makes 3, 3 and 2 makes 5, etc., etc. Now, so far that just sounds like loads of boring maths. How on earth can this be related to nature and flowers and floral art? Well, I'll tell you, because it's a very simple way of making all your floral art designs look good. Fibonacci's sequence of numbers is a secret that book designers use, fashion designers use, architects use. Basically, everybody's in on it. And it's just a way of making things look in proportion. So, if you look around and you want to see examples of Fibonacci's numbers, you just need to look for ferns, sunflowers, the scales on pineapples, the florets within flowers, the hive of bees. It's everywhere. And within architecture, if you look at the Acropolis, you can see an example of proportion using the golden ratio, which relates back to those numbers. And Swiss architect Le Corbusier, excuse my accent, uses it all the time in his designs. So basically what it means is it just means getting everything within proportion. So if you have one big flower, maybe you have 2 slightly smaller flowers, then 3 smaller again arranged, and so on and so forth. So before you dismiss it, it's just loads of boring maths that you don't need to know about in your floral art. I'll show you some examples of how you can use it within your designs, and it'll just be a really easy, cheats way almost, of making everything look instantly right. I'm here with Trish Legg, editor of Floral Design magazine, and she's going to tell me a little bit about how to use the Fibonacci sequence of numbers within floral design, and in particular this beautiful wall hanging. So Trish, tell me a little bit how you use those numbers.
Well, originally this was set up as a exercise for my students, and so I thought, well, we'll use the code from the very, very beginning, that very first number 1, and just see how far we go and how much it makes the proportions work. So first of all, I'll point out all of it so you can see this is absolutely the code hidden in there. Very, very cool. All right, so letter 1, number 1. So number 1 is this tiny little thing here. There's only one of them in the entire piece.
Wow, just tucked away in there, isn't it?
Tucked in there. It doesn't have, number 1 doesn't have to be dominant or look at me, as long as it's there. Then we go for 2, which is the next one in the sequence. So it's these ones here, which are plaited flax flowers.
Beautiful.
And the 3 of these 3 sticks that are travelling through here.
I see, yep.
And after the 3, I guess I'm allowed to do my 5 now, am I?
Yep, tell me what there's 5 of.
The 5 are these. Now this is New Zealand flax. It's been run through a pasta machine, and it makes these glorious, glorious lace effects on there.
That is so clever.
Yep, and then when it's still green, I have curled them up and with a rubber band, and then after they've dried a wee bit, stretch them out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it also, they're following the line of the raffia, which is the background there, so you're getting this lovely rhythm and yet another texture in there. After 5 we go to 8, and 8 is this little bit of wrapping. This is from wisteria vine. It's very, very fine and it wraps well, so there are actually 8 of them all going through here. It also introduces this lovely colour brown in there.
Yep.
So you're getting a little bit more of those neutral colours coming through. After 8 we have
12, 13, yeah. Maths was never my strong point.
Exactly. So 13 we have dried aspidistra. This is out of the garden, and aspidistra will dry this beautiful golden colour. The whole point of this wall hanging, of course, it will last until I get thoroughly sick of it and it has to go. So there it is, 13 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, I can count.
Brilliant.
After 13's got to be
21, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you have 21 of in this piece?
21 of these cool little flax flowers, which just, you roll them round and round and round and make a wire attachment on the base of them, and I've grouped them in groups of 5s and 3s, simply because I didn't want them spotty everywhere. So if you count them up, you'll find there are 21 of them, with 2 just tucked around the corner here, as a bit of interest around that side.
So you've used the numbers again in terms of proportion, haven't you, in groups of 3 and 5, so it's repeating those numbers. That's interesting. Is this the same flax that you used?
No,
these?
No,
slightly different.
It's actually a variegated one there, and it dries a different colour. This is, you can see this one's dry, this palest of green, but you use a different variety of flax, you'll get a different colour as it dries, but it's still in these glorious neutral colours for beige on beige, which of course is what my house is.
Yeah, it's lovely. And then we've got 34.
And
so next.
34 is, believe it or not, leek seeds.
Leek seeds?
Yes, when the garden is a disaster and you have too many leeks and you can't eat them all in time because you can only have so much leek and potato soup.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you wait till they've all gone to seed and you chop them off. And so these are the heads of the leek.
Ah, okay.
Yep, and once again, as you said before, I have grouped them just to keep the interest of the rhythm going things. So here's a group of 2 of them. Here's 1 just tucked in on its own, but still keeping to that code. So they've almost a code within a code within a code.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we have 56.
And 56 you're never going to guess. One of the good things about design is if you're going to have dull, you always have shiny with it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the contrast that works. So
the opposites.
The opposites. So here they are. If you counted all those little tiny beads. And
lovely.
It adds the bling, adds the shine, and just that extra tonal contrast there.
Fantastic.
So there it is. That's where I got up to before I decided it was full enough and didn't need to go any further up the scale.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Trish.
You're welcome.